Hi there, and thank you for joining me on this week's Sunday Girl. Tonight I am joined, well, obviously you know it's not night time, okay, but tonight I am joined by another Sunday Girl of my own vintage. She's bold and beautiful. She comes preloaded with beauty and brains. The effervescent Anne O'Neill. Anne, thank you for joining me.
Well, thank you very much, Orla.
And us, thank you for joining us.
Us. Yeah, you might have overloaded me there with too many compliments, but you know, I'll take them. I'll absorb them. It's part of being my age.
Well, I think, I mean...
Take them on board.
Take them
on board. And you look
board.
Fantastic, Orla. You look amazing.
Well, I mean...
I just said to you,
I soaked
you remind me of vintage
anytime.
Paula Yates, and love the glasses, love the look. You always take
Well, I think that's
amazing.
a little bit what we're going to be talking about this evening, is how we use fashion, perhaps, to portray different aspects of our personality and to project different parts of ourselves. I think particularly as we're going through the trauma of the present tense, I know myself, I've delved deep into perhaps some style icons that I look at, or into my own inner child, that girl that used to dress up, and now here I am projecting through fashion, you know, the new version of Orla Diffily, which changes sometimes daily.
Exactly, the nearly post-pandemic Orla. Yeah, definitely Orla. The last year, I think, for all of us, it has been so glum on lots of levels, and so tragic and so hard, and fashion has changed completely. We're all probably going around in comfortable clothes, sneakers. I don't think that isn't really me. I don't like flatness. I like life to have a little bit more fizz and, you know, a little bit more effervescence, as you say. And I did think an awful lot about stuff I liked, and I started rewatching films that always inspired me. I went back on my journey through kind of French New Wave and looked at Jean Moreau and all these, Jean Seberg, all these beautiful women who had just gorgeous style that I think I probably latched onto in, you know, my 20s and thought, I want to be that girl. You know, that's what I would like to be, that's what I'd like to project.
That you can be a fashionista and a feminist. Do they sit together?
Oh my God, yeah, definitely. I love Joan Didion. I love writers, obviously, as you said earlier. And Joan Didion completely loved fashion. She still does. Look at her with her iconic shades. I mean, she's still looking out at the world as a feminist and as a fashionista with her wry eye. And she did say that style is character. And I definitely do believe that. I think, you know, a complete absence of style definitely speaketh of something. You know, maybe a lack of character or a lack of ability to project yourself upon the world. No, all the feminist icons have a certain style. Yeah, you need it. It's your armor in the world. It's just that extra way of expressing yourself. And most feminists are amazingly expressive. So they have to use their apparel and their look, and you know, to increase their power and their visibility in a world that probably tries to negate them at times. So no, they're definitely completely linked. I mean, you know, you can wear lipstick and be a feminist. In fact, Dorothy Parker's line always comes to mind for me. She was asked to write about lingerie, and she missed her deadline. So she just sent in, brevity is the soul of lingerie. It's a good one. Yeah. and they published it, and she got paid. Yeah.
Now, of course, we're competing with, you know, natural noise because we're in the great outdoors. I think you can probably hear there's a helicopter, I think, going.
That's mine.
And lawnmowers, that's Anne's helicopter. And lawnmowers. But we will soldier on anyway, and we will hopefully fix this in the post-production.
It's all part of the summertime.
In post-production. So Anne, we all have style icons. Who would your style icons be?
Wow, they're huge. Like, they're such a kind of broad church, because I guess I've had kind of icons because I've lived through many decades from the 70s on. Who always comes to mind? Obviously Jackie Bouvier Onassis. Like, I loved her, just her pared down minimalist style, her shades. I loved her sister's style.
And you're almost vibing her today
on
so many levels.
Yeah, I loved Princess Margaret, especially in Mystique. I loved that look that she projected, the big sunglasses and her gorgeous caftans, and just that kind of look.
And the young boyfriend.
And the young boyfriend. Yeah, Roddy. Yeah. I need a Roddy. I don't know where he is. He's in the pool. Yeah, he's in the pool. Yeah, just, and women who had like loads of glamour. Like I loved Liz Taylor as well.
Okay.
You know, I couldn't get enough of kind of fur and diamonds and red lipstick. You know, Marilyn Monroe, all of that stuff that kind of feeds into everything that you got from culture, from, you know, movies, music, you know, punk rock, new wave, Debbie Harry. Yeah, it's just everywhere. Like, it just washes over you. You know, Catherine Deneuve, Belle de Jour, I loved all her clothes and that. Audrey Hepburn. Like, there are so many, you know, but I think I love a French aesthetic at the same time, you know. I love
so yeah,
Juliette
I mean,
Greco.
a lot of the icons there you've mentioned, there would be much more of that kind of OTT out there glamour.
Yeah, a little bit outre.
And yet,
yeah.
there is that kind of contrast too. There's
kind
this
of
kind
tomboyish
of French glamour that we
yeah,
talk about.
gamine as
That
well.
is that very kind of pared
Yeah.
back, you know, very what we call classical.
Classic, yeah,
almost,
yeah,
you know?
absolutely. Obviously, I love Coco Chanel. I just, you know, I have the champagne kind of taste with a beer budget a lot of the time, but
Don't
I'm
we
lucky
all?
enough to have an old Chanel bag. But I just love her aesthetic too, you know, the kind of the black and white and the monochrome, and you know, I would try to channel that a little bit too. But she just had amazing style, like amazing work style, and you know, I love structure as well. I love jackets, and I love Marlene Dietrich, the smoking, you know, that whole vibe. Bianca Jagger style. There are so many, you know.
There are so
and sometimes
many.
you just like them. Like, doesn't mean I'm ever going to wear them or anything, but you might just pick up something.
And I wonder sometimes, is it the style or is it the woman behind the style that we love?
I think it's the woman.
She's wearing this uniform that we kind of say, oh, I love that.
Yeah.
But what we really think sometimes loving
We feel-
is this woman behind it. And we feel that that woman is powerful.
Yeah.
We feel perhaps that she is very beautiful or sensual.
And living a very exotic life.
And living, we believe.
Yeah.
But it's probably just like Instagram today. They probably lived the same life. we all
Probably.
live,
Yeah.
With worries.
Yeah,
and
I feel, yeah, I know what you mean. You think that maybe if you buy that trench coat and
Correct.
cut your hair that way, that
That you will
maybe
be
you'll
that
have a
person.
little bit of,
Yeah.
you know, French je ne sais quoi about your life. And you know, sometimes
stress, or in times that you need that extra layer of confidence, this
Yeah.
armor,
armor,
that
and that's
what
what it
you
is.
wear is that armor to the world.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
it makes you someone that you want to be, perhaps.
And sometimes you want to disappear. Sometimes, you know, you might be really busy and have to do loads of jobs, and you don't want to be kind of standouty, or you just want to kind of throw on a big hoodie and do a supermarket shop, and you're definitely not going to be anyway stylish. And you know, there are days for that too. But
Saw pictures of you, I think they were taken 20 years ago, and you had, I just love them. You haven't changed.
oh, stop.
All that has
Stop.
changed is the colour of your hair. But you had this orange hair, this, you know, come get me smile. I think it's probably taken at about 3 a.m. I didn't know Anne then.
luckily.
And the bottle of wine, you know, in the
Yeah,
hand,
yeah.
and
Good days, good times.
good
yeah.
times.
I think, yeah, I was in my 20s then, and a lot of my friends
But what
were
you see first
in
is
bands
the style.
and
Like
yeah, we
your
just we
style.
loved all that kind of, that life was good fun. You know, you kind of work hard and then had great weekends and hang out with musicians and kind of artists and stuff, and your clothes probably reflected that. Yeah, and I still like that aesthetic, and I probably still like those kind of people. Yeah,
Hasn't
that's
it wonderful? I think in the last, I only perhaps noticed it so much in the last 5 or 6 years, but that style for us, there was very much like a uniform that I felt that we were kind of expected to wear as through our professions,
Yeah.
or through how we dealt with society, so that we'd have to kind of, you know, eventually wear black.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. Well, no,
you
sorry.
know, sorry,
Yeah.
there you go. There you go. Eventually wear just black and never leopard print that you kind of live in. Or I suppose what I'm trying to say is that eventually we were meant to mute ourselves down, that we were meant to turn down the dial and pass over style and fun and glamour
To
to
the
a
young.
younger woman.
Yeah, definitely
Where
in the
that is
60s and
stopped.
70s.
Yeah.
You know, in our grandparents' time. I mean, you remember your grandmother, and she was probably only in her late 40s, early 50s,
Correct.
but they just had to do, like, you know, a navy skirt and a navy cardigan, and just
Formless clothes.
become invisible,
Yeah.
fade away into
Fade away.
obscurity, but not us, I don't think. Yeah.
Are
We're
we
still-
going to fade
No
away?
way.
Anne?
Yeah. Not at the, well, hopefully not. Yeah.
No, definitely not. I think that this is kind of the new age.
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
No, and
where
it's great to see women our age, like, still engaging with fashion. Obviously, you're not going to just depends on your body shape, etc., or your age, or what your lifestyle's like. I mean, I never wore minis that was never my kind of style. You just to wear stuff that interests you, not to definitely feel that you have to change because you're in your 50s,
But
I will
so
go
much
to
for us
55
is that is the way we probably dressed a lot.
Yeah.
When we were in our 20s.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's kind of maybe that rock chick.
Yeah, we've
we've never changed.
Yeah, exactly,
we've never changed. That's the girl.
That's the coquette.
We were.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we spoke before we came on camera about somebody like Madonna.
You have to be, as a woman now, you have to be a composite of everything. This idea of just being sort of well dressed but blank with nothing going on behind that.
Yeah.
That doesn't really. I think anybody can be fashionable by spending a lot of money. But not everybody can have a sort of a style or an inner sort of.
Yeah, we always say that it's easy to be well dressed.
Exactly.
Because if you have loads of money, you can wander in and you can dress head to toe in designer.
Yeah, so you will be. You'll tick all those boxes, but sometimes that's wrong too.
Yeah, where sometimes people that are genuinely fashionable could be head to toe in vintage, or could buy everything on the
older
high street,
pieces.
but they know how to put themselves together.
Yeah.
But again, it's the personality behind the clothes.
Yeah. The move to.
I have this great story about Anne that we were in Berlin there a few years ago, and it was like 3 a.m, and we had been, enjoying the city.
We were actually on a kind of fashion rock and roll.
We were
Epicurean journey. We were in David Bowie's old restaurant, wasn't that it?
That night? What was that called again? Café Paris, was it?
I'll have to check it. Yeah, I think so. Café de Paris, wasn't it?
Café de Paris. And where they told
it was so good, we've forgotten what it's called.
They gave us a table at 5 p.m. because they were so booked out, and we left at 3 a.m.
After insinuating our way onto loads of other people's
and we met this lovely Iranian taxi driver, and Annie sang "Oh Danny Boy" to him, and lots of unusual things happened afterwards. But we were appropriately dressed for Berlin.
I think we had that sort of Berlin-y, sort of Berliner go-go. Itline Berliner, yeah, we definitely did. We were sort of gothic, and
yeah. And again, I mean, probably wind in this, but it's like when you're going somewhere. Let's say when people say, "I'm going on my holiday,"
I love that feeling.
They plan their wardrobe based kind of on where they're going. And I know before we went to Berlin, we spent a lot of time exchanging images from Berlin in the 1930s.
That's right.
From what I remember.
Yeah.
And we were like, this is our vibe.
Yeah, this is our vibe.
So it's like you get
And we had snow boots.
And we did.
And our big furs, and we were just marching around the squares. And that felt good as well, because you felt you were fulfilling, obviously a little fashion dream, and that's what those things are. Yeah.
Of course, Anne is much more than a fashion lover. She's a writer, she's a reader, she writes columns for the Irish Times, she's a well-known blogger, she's a media contributor. So,
and a pharmacist.
And
as well.
Sorry, she's also to make money to do all of these things.
I know, I'm a frontline
media
worker.
does not pay a lot of money. She is also a pharmacist, okay? But what we're going to end on is we're just going to end on some quotes to give us some thought for the week ahead.
I like these. I just saw them today. They're from Cosmopolitan, and like the lyrics of the song "I'm Sexually Enlightened by Cosmopolitan." Was that Lloyd Code from the 80s?
I think it was.
I certainly was. Sexually Enlightened by Cosmopolitan. But anyway, I'll just give you a few quotes that I like. This is from Carrie Bradshaw, Sex and the City. "I like my money where I can see it, hanging in my closet. I've always thought of accessories as the exclamation point of a woman's outfit." That's Michael Kors. And Jenna Lyons, who writes for The Cut, her quote, I love it: "As far as I'm concerned, leopard is neutral." "Don't dress to kill, dress to survive," Karl Lagerfeld said. "Great personal style is an extreme curiosity about yourself." Iris Apfel, we all love.
Oh, I love
she's
her.
In her 80s.
She's inspirational.
"I'm just trying to change the world one sequin at a time." That's Lady Gaga. And I think now, with sustainability being an issue, this is from Vivienne Westwood, who I love, another one of my icons.
Yeah, I love
"Buy less, choose well, make it last. Quality, not quantity. Everybody's buying far too much clothes. Taste is constant. Style varies from season to season." That's Bill Cunningham. Fashion climbing. And then from Tom Ford, I'll leave you with this one: "Fashion needs to make one happy. It is a luxury and should enhance one's quality of life." Hope you have a very enhanced Sunday night after listening to us.
And thank you for joining us.
And thank you.
And Anne, thank you.
Not at all, Orla.
My friend and an inspirational friend. Good night.
You.
Have
Good
a great
night.
week.